This place is just absolutely stunning. I mean, I love it. Great choice, Lauren. This is absolutely fabulous. Hope you all are enjoying yourselves. You've got yourself a nice cocktail. Sorry, ooh, mine keeps disappearing a little bit here and there. Um, for those of you who don't know me, I am Charlotte Anderson. I want to say I'm Lauren's best friend, but I know I come in a close second to Rick because he's so wonderful. Um, but I decided to virtually connect myself with Lauren's wedding and Brandon's wedding. I forgot he's also there, but Lauren's the queen, so we always put her first, right? Um, I decided I wanted to make sure that I could be there for Lauren virtually, because I couldn't be there on her big day, and it makes me really, really incredibly sad that I'm not there. So I hope you all enjoy this little speech, and I'll try to make it short and quick so you guys can get back to the party and enjoy yourselves and dance the night away. So, Lauren Alicia Putes, now Schultz, your fairy tale moment is finally here. You and Brandon look absolutely stunning. And Brandon, might I say, damn, you clean up well. That a girl, Lauren. I could sit here and talk about how challenging the past year has been. Replanning a wedding countless times throughout the pandemic has been no picnic, but not as bad as the Cascade picnic of 2011. And if you know, you know. Regardless, I want to acknowledge that you both persevered through it all. And if we're being honest, the pandemic may have been a blessing in disguise in terms of your wedding plans. Lauren and Brandon got married today in a dream location and surrounded by the most important people in their lives. It is truly a wedding they both desired and have longed to have, and I'm forever thankful that this is where they're celebrating and everybody that they love is surrounding them. Lauren and I have had a very unique friendship, but the best one nonetheless. We are the yin and yang of personalities. Lauren has always been the fun, outgoing, life of the party, and I've always been the history nerd, definitely not as outgoing, definitely not as loud and boisterous as Lauren is. Um, and also been kind of the mother hen to Lauren. I've always kind of I've been called mother multiple times by her before. Um, she had a way of getting me out of my shell and getting me to live life to the fullest, no matter what it was. And I was always willing to take a risk with whenever I was with her because I always knew that I was going to be safe, whether or not it sounded like a safe decision at the time. Some of my best years were spent living with her in Sheboygan, which is not something you can always say about Sheboygan, but we were so young and vibrant, so unhealthy. We smoked a lot of Camel Crushes out of her window in her bedroom in her apartment because for some reason we always just hung out in her tiny little room. And we ate a lot of pizza, but we were the happiest of roommates and we had the best time living together. Throughout our friendship, we've been able to enjoy some light travel together as well. We used to casually roam the back roads of Sheboygan County, blasting the latest country hits out of our iPods in our tiny white Kia. And might I add, that thing was a tank and indestructible. Note the great ice incident of 2011 on I-43. Again, if you know, you know. Lauren and I did some cross country travel to Washington as well, where we took a leap of faith and we held toes for the very first time together. It was an experience like none other, and I'm happy I got to share it with Lauren. And to this day, I have never held toes with anybody else, so cheers to that. Lauren's itch to travel didn't stop there, though. She got so adventurous one time, she took off to Arizona to meet a friend, but just happened to not bring it up to anybody else in casual conversation. So there was a slight scare for a little while about where she was, but we found her and she's okay, and life went on. We lived together for about a year and then made the decision to move back in with our parents because let's face it, it's cheaper, and our parents always had better food than what we did. I was not a great cook. Let's just leave it at that. But that didn't mean that our friendship faced a setback by any means. I was over at Lauren's house quite frequently, and we still enjoyed our outings and shenanigans together. A couple of years later, Lauren decided to be her fun loving self and head out for a night on the town at Parnell Tavern. There, she laid eyes on that sexy creature, Brandon, who is now sitting next to her today as her husband. They made eyes, and the rest is history. I remember the first time I really got to hang out with Brandon and Lauren together. It was just a random night that I came over to Lauren's house and we watched movies, or maybe Roseanne or Criminal Minds. I don't know, one of our favorite shows, but we just decided to hang out and lounge. But Brandon casually just came over and sat on the couch with us, and I'm fairly certain there was commentation on the movies that we watched or whatever we were watching at the time. And in that moment, I just knew he was different from all the others. It was a comfortable and fun and refreshing experience, and I was so happy to see my best friend with somebody that could randomly hang out with her best friend with no problem. I know it seems so minimal and neither here nor there, but it's just one of those moments, again, that if you know, you know. And in that moment, I just knew that Brandon was the one for Lauren, and I'm so thankful every single day that he is there for her. Now, as any good matron of honor should do, I wanted to offer some helpful marriage advice that I think you might find useful at any time throughout your future. First and foremost, always stay true to who you are. Life will change and circumstances may change as well, but never stop being who you are because it got you to where you are today and it built the relationship that you guys have today as well. Communication. I can't stress this enough. Communication is key. You two are a team. Be respectful and be kind to one another. Listen and compromise. It does wonders, I promise. Never stop singing. It's not very often you can find a couple who both thoroughly enjoy a good old karaoke session and both have great voices. Brandon, you might have a better voice than Lauren. I don't know. I'll let you guys duke it out at the reception tonight. Never go a day without saying I love you to one another, whether it be via text, Snapchat, I don't know if you guys use that anymore, calling each other or face to face. Make sure you always say it. Always do the grocery list together. Everyone will be happier. Listen to Keith Urban's Who Wouldn't Want to Be Me and put into perspective life even on the tough days. It helps tremendously. And Brandon, for the love of God, when Lauren asks for an effing rag, you get her that rag. Again, if you know, you know. Referencing Cascade Picnic circa 2011. Brandon, I couldn't ask for a better soul to love Lauren unconditionally. You are two peas in a pod, and I'm forever grateful that Lauren gets to spend the rest of her life with you. Take care of her, love her, adore her, and spoil her because we all know she's the queen. And with that being said, also adore Denali because he's also part of the package. I love you both. Let's cheers to a good time, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your wedding reception. Love you so much.